Good morning. If you're waking up anywhere along the west coast today, you might want to take a look outside, because the skies are already hinting at what's to come. The air feels heavy, the clouds are thickening, and there's a sense of anticipation in the atmosphere. Today, we're tracking a massive, slow-moving storm system over the Pacific, targeting the west coast. This isn't just another rainy day. This is a significant weather event that meteorologists have been watching closely for days. The storm stretches for hundreds of miles, with its swirling clouds and bands of moisture clearly visible from space, and it's steadily making its way toward land. This isn't your average autumn rain. Expect days of heavy rain and mountain snow from Washington to California, with impacts lasting into next week. Cities like Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco are bracing for relentless downpours, while higher elevations in the Cascades and Sierra Nevada could see several feet of fresh snow. Roads may become slick and hazardous, and travel through mountain passes could be treacherous or even impossible at times. The storm's slow pace means more moisture over the same areas, raising the risk of flooding and major disruptions for millions. Rivers and streams are expected to rise rapidly, and urban areas could see flash flooding as storm drains struggle to keep up. Power outages are possible, and some communities may need to prepare for evacuation orders if conditions worsen. While the West braces for a deluge, a huge ridge of high pressure will bring dry, unseasonably warm weather to the central and eastern U.S. In places like Chicago, Dallas, and Atlanta, people are enjoying sunshine and temperatures more typical of late summer than mid-autumn. Parks are full, and outdoor events are going ahead as planned, a stark contrast to the stormy scenes out west. It's a dramatic coast-to-coast contrast. Flood watches and warnings blanket the west, while the east basks in summer-like warmth. This sharp divide in weather is the result of a powerful jet stream pattern, funneling moisture into the west while blocking storms from reaching the rest of the country. We'll break down the storm's day-by-day impacts from coastal flooding to mountain snow and explain why this pattern is setting up. We'll also look at how long the storm will last, which areas are most at risk, and what you can do to stay safe and prepared as the weather unfolds. Stay with us as we detail what to expect, where, and when. We'll have the latest updates on watches and warnings, and tips on how to protect your home and family from flooding, power outages, and hazardous travel. Let's dive into the forecast and see how this major weather event could affect you. Whether you're planning a commute, a weekend getaway, or just want to know what's coming, we've got you covered with the most up-to-date information. Grab your coffee. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. No matter where you are, understanding this weather pattern will help you stay one step ahead. Let's get started. Today, a powerful storm system makes its much-anticipated landfall in the Pacific Northwest, bringing with it a dramatic shift in the region's weather. After days of warnings and forecasts, the first bands of rain and wind are now sweeping ashore, signaling the start of what could be a significant and prolonged weather event for millions of residents. Washington and Oregon will see clouds quickly give way to heavy, persistent rain and increasingly gusty winds, especially along the exposed coastline. Coastal communities are already experiencing tough travel conditions, with reduced visibility and slick roads. The ocean is churning with rough seas, making it dangerous for boaters and anyone near the shore. Residents should expect power outages and downed branches as the winds intensify through the day. By evening, the leading edge of the storm will reach Northern California, where the first drops of rain will begin to fall in towns and cities. This marks just the beginning of a multi-day event that will bring waves of precipitation and unsettled weather to the region. Residents should prepare for changing conditions and keep an eye on local forecasts for updates. With the ground already saturated from previous storms, even this initial round of rain could quickly lead to localized flooding and rising streams. Low-lying areas and neighborhoods near rivers and creeks are especially vulnerable. Emergency officials are urging people to avoid driving through flooded roads and to be prepared for possible evacuation orders if conditions worsen. In the higher elevations, snow is beginning to fall in the Cascade Mountains. As colder air filters in behind the front, snow levels will drop rapidly, coating mountain roads and passes. Winter travel conditions will develop quickly, making driving treacherous for anyone without proper equipment. If you're planning to cross mountain passes, be sure to check the latest advisories and have tire chains ready. Delays and closures are likely as the snow intensifies, and authorities may require chains for all vehicles. It's best to travel early or delay your trip if possible. Meanwhile, Central and Southern California remain calm for now, with clear skies and only distant clouds on the horizon. But don't be fooled by today's quiet weather. This is the last opportunity to prepare homes and gather emergency supplies before the storm's impacts arrive. Secure outdoor furniture, clear gutters, and make sure you have flashlights and batteries on hand. The storm's slow but steady southward march means that everyone along the Pacific coast should be on alert for worsening conditions tomorrow. Coastal residents should heed all warnings, as high surf and strong winds could create hazardous situations. Stay tuned to local news and weather alerts for the latest updates. The countdown is on. Now is the time to get ready, stay informed, and take action to protect yourself and your loved ones as this major storm unfolds. By Thursday, the storm's heaviest rain targets Central and Southern California, including major cities like San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Diego. Flood watches will be widespread, and the morning commute will be treacherous with heavy rain and poor visibility. Urban flooding is likely as storm drains are overwhelmed. Never drive through flooded roads. The slow-moving system means hours of rain, raising river levels and increasing mudslide risks, especially in burn scar areas. The Pacific Northwest gets a break, but Southern California faces the brunt of the storm. Thursday will be the most impactful day for millions. Stay alert and follow official warnings. Take this threat seriously. As the week ends, the storm stalls off Southern California, acting like a fire hose and prolonging the rain through Sunday. This means 3 straight days of heavy precipitation, saturating the ground and escalating flood risks. Major rivers could reach flood stage, and emergency responders will be stretched. By the weekend, the storm's moisture spreads into Arizona, bringing rare, widespread rain and flash flood risks to the desert. Even as the storm drifts east, Southern California stays wet. Travel will be tough and outdoor plans will be disrupted. This isn't a typical winter storm, its duration makes it dangerous. The persistent rain from Friday to Sunday is the key concern. Stay prepared for significant impacts across California and Arizona. In the mountains, it's all about snow, lots of it. The Sierra Nevada will see feet of snow, creating treacherous travel and likely road closures through the weekend. Major winter storm warnings are expected, with power outages possible as heavy, wet snow brings down trees and lines. Residents should have emergency supplies and be ready for extended outages. This is the first big snowstorm of the season, great for the snowpack and ski resorts, but a serious short-term hazard. Avoid mountain travel if possible. Conditions will be dangerous for days. The Sierra snowpack is vital for water resources, but right now, safety comes first. Hunker down and be prepared. Meanwhile, the central and eastern U.S. will see a massive ridge of high pressure, bringing a rapid, dramatic warm-up. Temperatures will soar 15-25 degrees above average, with 80s possible as far north as Oklahoma City. This warmth stretches from the plains to the east coast, with cities like Omaha and Minneapolis feeling more like early October. The high pressure also means dry, sunny weather. Welcome for some, but worsening drought in the plains. This pattern holds through the weekend, keeping the west stormy and the east mild. Only the northeast may see lingering lake-effect snow, but that will fade soon. The contrast is striking: rain and snow out west, sunshine and warmth in the east. Enjoy the autumn weather if you are east of the Rockies. The southeast just experienced a wild weather swing. A record-breaking cold front brought Arctic air and even snow to places like Atlanta and Myrtle Beach. Tampa hit 38 degrees highs, breaking a record from 1892. Now that cold air is gone, and a ridge of high pressure is ushering in a rapid warm-up. Freezing mornings will give way to afternoons in the 60s and 70s, a classic case of weather whiplash. The main story for the southeast is now sunny, mild weather through the weekend. It's a dramatic turnaround, letting people enjoy autumn after an early taste of winter. The cold snap is over, warmth is here to stay for a while. Enjoy the beautiful change. Why has this West Coast storm become so severe? The answer: it's moving much slower than first expected. Both major weather models now agree the storm will stall, dumping more rain over the same areas and raising flood risks. A slow storm means higher totals. Think of a sprinkler left in one spot for hours. The powerful ridge over the central U.S. is blocking the storm's eastward progress, keeping the plains dry and the west soaked. This small shift in the upper atmosphere has huge consequences on the ground. The new model agreement gives us high confidence in a prolonged, hazardous event for the West. Meanwhile, the East stays dry and warm. It's a classic setup. One region's misery is another's mild spell. As we look ahead to the week, the dominant weather story is the slow-moving storm system parked over the West Coast. This isn't just a quick burst of rain, this is a persistent, sprawling system that's set to impact millions of people from the Pacific Northwest all the way down to the desert Southwest. The storm's sluggish pace means it will linger, bringing a prolonged period of unsettled weather to the region. Over the next several days, expect repeated rounds of heavy rain, widespread flooding in low-lying areas, and significant mountain snow stretching from Washington through Oregon, California, and even into Arizona's higher elevations. Rivers and streams could rise quickly, and urban flooding is a real concern, especially in areas that have already seen saturated ground from previous storms. Travel will be challenging, with slick roads, reduced visibility, and the potential for sudden road closures. Residents and travelers alike should stay alert, monitor local advisories, and be prepared for rapidly changing conditions. Emergency services are on high alert, and it's crucial to heed all warnings and evacuation orders if they're issued. The Sierra Nevada mountains are bracing for several feet of fresh snow, creating treacherous conditions for drivers and outdoor enthusiasts. While this snowpack is a welcome boost for the region's water supply and ski resorts, it also brings avalanche risks and the threat of power outages. If you're planning to travel through mountain passes, be sure to check road conditions and carry emergency supplies. In stark contrast, much of the rest of the country is set to enjoy a stretch of dry, sunny, and unseasonably warm weather. Across the Midwest, the Great Plains, and the South, people are taking advantage of the mild conditions, perfect for outdoor activities, early spring gardening, or simply soaking up the sunshine. This warmth is especially welcome after the Southeast's recent cold snap, which brought frosty mornings and icy commutes. Now, temperatures are rebounding, and many are trading winter coats for lighter layers as the sun returns. The storm system remains locked in place over the west, with little sign of movement in the coming days. Satellite and radar imagery show a swirling mass of clouds stubbornly anchored over California and the surrounding states, keeping the wet weather confined to the region. East of the Rockies, conditions are much drier, with barely a drop of precipitation expected. The Great Plains and much of the East Coast will see clear skies and calm weather, a sharp divide from the stormy West. It's truly a week of weather extremes. While the West contends with relentless rain and snow, the East basks in tranquil, almost spring-like warmth. The contrast is striking, and it's a reminder of how varied our nation's weather can be at any given time. For those in the East, it's a great time to get outside and enjoy the pleasant conditions, whether it's a morning jog, a walk in the park, or simply opening the windows to let in some fresh air. This week, the interconnectedness of our atmosphere is on full display. While one region faces the challenges of severe weather, another enjoys a peaceful respite. It's a fascinating example of how weather patterns can shape our daily lives in dramatically different ways. As always, it's important to stay tuned to your local forecasts and keep an eye on weather alerts, especially if you live in or are traveling to areas affected by the storm. Local meteorologists and emergency officials will have the most up-to-date information to keep you safe. Make sure you have a way to receive emergency notifications, and check in on neighbors or loved ones who might need extra help during severe weather. Preparation and awareness are key to staying safe. That's the national outlook for the week ahead. Now, let's take a closer look at what's happening in your neck of the woods. Because when it comes to weather, every community has its own unique story.